tropical thickets, occupying almost half of the entire territory of South America. Travelers and scientists have been trying to explore the Amazon rainforest for hundreds of years. Many expeditions have gone missing, and the circumstances of their disappearance are shrouded in mystery. Those who survived were able to tell about strange creatures, delayed settlements, and wild tribes that lived in this territory. Some researchers are sure that it was there, in the Amazon forests, that a highly developed civilization once existed. She may have been associated with Atlantis. The Amazon forests are really vast. They are located in 9 countries. And the number of trees there is so great that they produce 20% of all oxygen on our planet. These impenetrable thickets are the perfect place to hide from modern civilization. In addition to deadly animals, the Amazon forests are inhabited by several hundred different tribes. Most of them are in contact with the outside world. However, according to researchers, about 50 tribes live in the thickets that have never encountered modern civilization. Scientists and travelers have been studying the mysterious forest for hundreds of years. As a result, more than 80 ancient fortifications that were once settlements were discovered. According to archaeologists, this structure is about 1,500 years old. And this means that long before the arrival of Europeans, these territories were inhabited by millions of people. By the way, it is thanks to the Europeans that the Amazonian forests got their name. In the 16th century, the Spanish traveler Francisco de Orellana arrived on an expedition to the shores of South America. During a hike in the forest, he was attacked by women of one of the tribes. They reminded the traveler of the legendary Amazon warriors from Greek mythology. Therefore, Francisco called these forests the Amazon. In the following centuries, explorers from all over the world continued to arrive in the Amazonian forests in search of lost cities and treasures. There were ancient manuscripts and documents that said that it was in these places that the ancient abandoned cities were located in, possibly even Atlantis or its colony. One such document is Manuscript 512. It is kept in the National Library of Rio de Janeiro. The manuscript belongs to the participants of one of the expeditions of the middle of the 18th century. It claims that the researchers managed to discover a large abandoned city with signs of an ancient highly developed civilization. It also contains indications of the discovery of gold and silver deposits. Manuscript 512 was discovered and became famous almost 100 years after its creation. Since then, explorers and enthusiastic adventurers have organized expeditions in search of the lost city. One of the most famous stories involves the mysterious disappearance of British military and traveler Percy Ford. Fox was a friend of Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of the Sherlock Holmes stories. The traveler was sure of the existence of a lost city in the Amazon forest region. His idea was based on 2 facts: Manuscript 512 and a mysterious black statuette 25 centimeters high. This item was brought by a friend of Assad from a trip to Brazil. British museum experts were unable to determine the origin of the figurine. Fawcett believed in a once existing continent stretching from the coast of Africa to South America. A natural disaster hit the continent and it disappeared. It was Atlantis. In 1925, Percy Fawcett, together with his son, gathered an expedition and went to the impenetrable forests of the Amazon in search of the lost city. What did he call it himself? According to Foss, this was the city mentioned in Manuscript 512 and associated with the vanished civilization of Atlantis. Before leaving, Fawcett left a cryptic note saying that if they did not return, they should not be sent on a search and rescue expedition. Otherwise, the same fate awaits his participants, since his Fawcett squad consisted of several people, his friend, son and 2 guides from Brazil. On May 29, 1925, Fawcett sent a letter to his wife from the last settlement. Before heading into an uncoordinated part of the Amazon forest, no one else heard of him. Attempts to determine the exact cause of Percy Fawcett's disappearance continue to this day. The researcher has several versions. The most common is that Percy and the members of his expedition were killed by one of the tribes living in the Amazon forest. It is believed that Fawcett still managed to find the lost city and find his community there. This is confirmed by Fawcett's notes to friends and colleagues, from which it becomes clear that the traveler was not originally going to return to his homeland. It is also likely that the cause of the death of travelers was wildlife. The fact is that the Amazon forests are truly one of the most dangerous places on our planet. Many of you have probably heard of the Amazon River. This is the longest river in the world, and it is she who crosses the forest of the same name. But besides this, in the thickets there is a reservoir in which the water boils in the truest sense of the word. It is called the boiling river. The water temperature here is from 40 to 90 degrees Celsius. Thick steam emanating from the water hints at the fact that in no case should you even approach this reservoir. The most interesting thing is that scientists have not yet come to a consensus explaining why this natural anomaly, a boiling river, is far from the only danger that lurks in the Amazonian forests. Hundreds of deadly animals and insects are found in thickets and reservoirs. The giant anaconda is a monster. No wonder it got its name. In the 20th century, several researchers and naturalists reported finding an anaconda in the Amazon forests, the length of which exceeded 10 and even 15 meters. Some scientists doubt the reliability of such reports, but no one disputes that the giant anaconda can easily reach 5 to 6 meters in length. Which, you see, also makes this monster a real killing machine. The anaconda usually lies motionless, waiting for its prey, lying in one place. And when she approaches, he grabs her with a lightning throw and strangles her. The anaconda genus has grown to an incredible size. For example, she can completely swallow a jaguar, and sometimes a person. Such horrific incidents are incredibly rare. But still, usually anaconda does not touch people. However, this can happen if the animal senses danger. The giant anaconda is not the only creature that strikes fear into travelers and natives of the Amazonian forests. As I said, several hunter tribes live and more often. Many of them have a legend about a mythical creature. His body is completely covered with hair. The height of the monster is several meters and the name was given to him Megatherium. This creature has incredible power. The most interesting thing is that the researchers were told about this creature by completely different tribes that never intersected with each other. Therefore, this cannot be a fictional legend. Several expeditions went in search of Megatherium. However, all attempts were unsuccessful. Scientists from Brazil are inclined to the version that this creature could really exist, but most likely they died out several thousand years ago and today continue to live only as a legend. However, scientists cannot completely deny the existence of the monster today. In addition to mythical creatures, the Amazonian forests can amaze with very real phenomena, well studied by scientists. When it comes to walking trees, most people think of the Lord of the Rings. But unlike the world-famous fantasy, there are absolutely real walking trees in the forests of the Amazon. In this case, walking palm trees. They can move from place to place. However, they do it incredibly slowly. Walking palm trees put out new roots towards the sun, thus replacing the old roots and gradually moving. You look at these frogs, you will agree, they are incredibly beautiful. Amazingly vibrant colors. But what if I tell you that this frog can kill you and not only you, but 10 more adults? Their name is poison dart frogs. Despite their diminutive size, they are one of the most venomous animals on the planet. Their skin is pierced with iron, which exudes a microscopic poison that is enough to kill more than a dozen people. And this is not all the amazing phenomena found in the Amazon forests. According to scientists, only 1% of all plants located in this territory have been studied so far. Without exaggeration, life on our planet depends on the fate of one huge forest. Through the process of photosynthesis, the Amazon forests absorb almost a third of all carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere and, conversely, produce almost 20% of the oxygen on the planet. However, due to global warming and deforestation, this unique place may be threatened with extinction in 50 years. Each of us, regardless of the country of residence, can contribute to the conservation of the Amazon forests. It is enough to simply use less paper in everyday life. It is for its production that a significant part of the forest is cut down. The fate of the Amazonian forests and the entire planet is in the hands of each of us. As one wise man said, a journey of 1,000 kilometers begins with the first step. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel, click on the bell to be aware of new videos. And, of course, leave your comments under this video.